Hello everyone, it's Jacob here from Illegal Eagle, and we're finally getting a cave update. Now, if you're unaware, the other day Minecraft did their Minecraft live stream called Minecraft Live. Very original name. Now, this was an announcement of several things, including what they're going to add to 1.17 in Minecraft, along with a few other things for Minecraft Earth and Minecraft Dungeons and whatever, but I wanted to go and have a look through the main sections of it, the main kind of pointers that they made, including new mobs, new blocks, new biomes, etc. So let's just go and have a look. Oh, and in case you're wondering, microphone's just for show. I haven't got it to work still, but I assure you I'll work it out at some point soon. Now, oh, and before I begin, I highly recommend you watch Xisumavoid's videos. I will link it down in the description. He does a much better analysis of this update. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go and have a look. So I'm on the Minecraft wiki page and planned additions section. Blocks. Azalea leaves. Part of a new exclusive tree marking the location of lush caves. Now, that looks pretty cool. I like the leaves, they look very, very pretty. Azalea roots. Part of the Azalea tree, I'm calling it Azalea, I don't know how it's pronounced, that's just what I'm calling it. Resembles a dirt block, but with roots textured within. Maybe it can be, I don't know what they're planning for it to be, maybe it could be like a dirt block that it just looks slightly different, and when you mine it, it just becomes a dirt block. Now, amethyst. The amethyst geode generates amethyst crystals on top given time, unobtainable in survival, and probably cannot be moved with pistons, extremely rare, only generates in amethyst geode structures. And the amethyst crystals grows on top of geode blocks over time, makes a jingling noise when walking over them, break to produce a crystal shard item. These can be crafted into telescopes. Now, the whole amethyst thing looks pretty cool. The fact that it's unobtainable also increases the rarity of it, but knowing the Minecraft community, they will find a way to break it. I mean, they've even found a way to break bedrock, even if you can't obtain it. But it's a really cool concept that they're hopefully going to add within this update, and I thoroughly look forward to it. Now, one part of this, I'm going to go over all the mobs and everything that they're hopefully adding. One part of this update I think people are going to be very split on. In fact, a few parts of this, a lot of the community is going to be very split on, because some people think that it's adding slightly too much to the game. Some people think, you know, it's just perfect and that's what they're doing. And the amethyst might be part of that, because the crystals don't really look very Minecraft-like. But I'm sure people will get used to it over time. I mean, there are a few things in 1.16 that people didn't like, but it's come to grow on them, and I like pretty much everything about 1.16. Going down, we have the copper ore. New ore found underground drops itself when broken like other metal ores. I'm guessing that means you can smelt it. Spawns in large new ore veins. Now, they weren't particularly clear about this, but apparently there's going to be a lot more strategy to mining ores. Perhaps they gather in clusters rather than being randomly spread out like they are. Can be used to craft a lightning rod or a telescope. Lightning rod, quite cool, good addition. I think they've done pretty well with that. It basically means you can place it somewhere, and so that it doesn't light up a supercharged creeper, turn a villager into a witch, or set fire to your wooden builds. It just strikes that, and I'd say that's quite a cool addition. Telescope, again, too much perhaps. Useful tool, definitely. I mean, it's going to very much clash with Optifine, where you can use the button to zoom in. Now let's go down to the copper blocks. Now there's a block of copper stairs and a copper slab. Now they are, well, a copper colour, kind of a browny, sort of goldy cross orangey sort of colour. I don't know how to describe it other than copper colour. But it will change over time to become copper carbonate, which scientifically just means copper mixed with oxygen. It takes around 16 Minecraft days to turn into this new colour, And as you might expect, it's probably been inspired, obviously, by real life copper, by things like the Statue of Liberty, which used to be that copper colour, but obviously now it's a much more greenish colour. Now let's go down. Clay pots. Ceramic shards can be incorporated into an unfired pot, can be fired by lightning fire under the pot. Now I'll cover clay shards in a second, but clay pots, again, a little too much maybe. I mean, this whole, they're adding a whole, I'll go over in a second, they're adding a whole sort of archaeology section to go with the kind of adventure aspect of the Cave and Cliff update. Quite a cool addition, definitely something decorative. Spore plant. Light source, grows edible glowberries. Now this is kind of looking more and more like Terraria. Terraria has a much better, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, I'll link that in the description, where I went over some kind of fake Minecraft biome specific updates. Terraria, in my opinion, has a much better adventure aspect to it. It's a much, I mean, it's only 2D, but it has a much more variety to it than Minecraft does, and that's what makes it a better kind of adventure style game. Now, it seems that Minecraft is kind of going down that direction, and I'm all for that, but I just want to point out, I don't think they should add too much that affects the gameplay, because then it just will look like a mod. Spore blossom sends particles downward when opened. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it sends like an electrical, not electrical, maybe it sends like a redstone output to it, who knows. Unknown foliage block, possibly moss, and unknown foliage carpet. It looks quite cool. Maybe it can spread, it's moss, maybe it can spread through like grass can. Drip leaf, plant and small drip leaf plant-like blocks. A plant that could be used for platforming. This seems like a cool addition. Now, it can be used for standing on, but only for a certain amount of time, primarily for platforming, parkour kind of things, but I'm sure it can be used in some sort of decoration. Small versions of Azalea Trees or Azalea bushes, they look quite cool. Personally, I think a cool little bush would be a nice addition to Minecraft, just a little, you know, just a little single block that just looks like a bush. Who knows, might be cool. Skulk block and skulk shoot and skulk growth and skulk sensor. They are all to do with the new deep dark biome, or that's what it's called at the moment. The deep dark biome is one of the new 3-dimensional biomes, along with lush caves and whatever else. I'm sure I'll remember in a second. They're all to do with redstone, so they all either send off or receive redstone pulses, but a new addition to the game would be a vibrations addition, and this is to do with the fact that whenever an entity hits, walks, or is thrown or anything like that, it'll give off a vibration that these things will detect, and another thing in a second I'll talk about. Stalagmites and stalactites found in the new dripstone cave. That's another one, a dripstone cave. The stalagmites, which are the ones going up, deal damage when landed on. Makes sense, they're spiky. And the stalactites can fall, so like anvils, they'll deal damage when they fall on top of you or a mob. Drips water, which can fill cauldrons placed below it. Now, if you didn't know, stalagmites and stalactites are formed, I don't know all the ins and outs about it, but they're formed when water drips over hundreds or thousands of years in a cave. So that kind of makes sense, that they'll drip water, adding to a cauldron. That seems like a pretty cool addition. No, in the last Minecraft update video I made, I said pretty cool too many times, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't know whatever else to say. I'll try not to say it. Lightning rod, there we go, crafted with copper, redirects nearby lightning strikes to the top of the rod, which can prevent flammable structures from catching on fire during thunderstorms. I'm guessing it can probably also be used, if you place a creeper on top of it, or a villager on top of it, it could be used to electrify them. So, new type of farm perhaps. Make notes, Hermitcraft. Candlelight Blocks, can be up to 4 in a block, similar to sea pickles, so maybe they're like the land version of sea pickles. Can be black or white, emits fire particles. New light source, looks cool. Maybe, because candles are made with wax, maybe they'll add beeswax to the game, which you can harvest from beehives. Unknown grey stone block, unknown white stone block, and unknown whitish block, all possibly new types of stone, similar to, you know, diorite, andesite, granite, and stone itself. The unknown grey stone block can be found in the biome, the deep dark cave. Maybe it can be, you know, harder to mine, like end stone, and maybe it can be a new type of cobblestone. Who knows? They're all cool new additions. Now let's move on to items. Now the amethyst shards, drops from amethyst crystals used to make telescopes, went over that. Bucket of axolotl. Now axolotls are going to be a new mob in the game. If you didn't know what an axolotl is in real life, here's a picture of it. They are very cool amphibians, I believe. Very, very interesting creatures in real life. They have been known to be pets in real life, but you'll probably find them at a zoo or aquarium more specifically. Obtained by using a water bucket. Oh yeah, you can get them in a bucket, and I'm guessing that might be how you sort of tame them, perhaps, because they're going to be a new friendly mob, just like a wolf or a cat. Also known as Cutie in a Bucket in the artwork. Brush. Now this is one of the things that might slightly split the community, because again, is this too much? It seems like a mod like one of those mini adventure mods in the game. Used to sweep carefully away debris from archaeological items. Reveals 1 pixel of height from the dirt or gravel block it is used upon each use. May allow for the creation of dirt and gravel layers at and previously unobtainable block heights. Again, does this add too much to the game? Does it add too much variation, or is it just going to be a cool use for the game to be used as a sort of decoration item? However, obviously one thing I noticed is the things that it's sweeping away at in the video is just normal, or what looks like normal blocks of dirt and gravel. So does this mean that it's just normal dirt and gravel and you can just mine away for hours at it, go back home and then just keep on brushing at it and get random items from it? Maybe, you know, that might be too OP. Or perhaps they are different blocks, they just look very similar. Much like the infested stone brick sort of thing with the silverfish inside. They look the same but they're actually different. Bundle. Can contain 1 stack of 64 of any number of item types. Items are added by dragging a bundle to an item. Tooltip shows icons of contain items. Items drop to inventory when right clicks. This is kind of Mojang's answer to the ongoing question of when are we going to get better inventory management system, and this is what they came up with. Not perfect, in my opinion, but might be a cool addition to the game. They can, perhaps you could put them in shulkers and then transport that around. Perhaps you could put shulkers inside them and then them inside shulkers and shulkers inside them, and then just have an infinite supply of, well, bundles and whatever else. Ceramic shards, mentioned these earlier, obtained with brush at archaeological sites, come in different colours and designs, each depicting a different picture, such as an ender dragon, Alex, a skeleton, a tree and a vindicator. Can be placed / customised on clay pots, and they're currently using placeholder arts, according to one of the devs. Glowberries, new food source, can be eaten. Telescope, crafted from crystal shards and copper, when held allows the player to see far away in a small circle. Again, mentioned this earlier, might clash with people using Optifine, which is a kind of better version of this. Might be OP, you know, you might be able to see things far away. Might be, you know, underpowered, because you can only see a tiny little amount in the area. Axolotl, there we go, little information on it. Small, critically endangered Mexican salamanders found in body of water within the lush caves. So a little bit of Minecraft knowledge in there, a little bit of real life knowledge in there. As I said, they are pretty cool animals. I've seen them in zoos and such, mostly on like breeding projects, so to get their numbers back up again. So, and also similar to things like bees and polar bears and pandas and such, this is another one of Mojang's additions of an endangered species to raise awareness. Can be caught in a bucket like fish, can be tamed with a fish. Come in different colours, albino, yellow, green, brown and purple/pink. Plays dead when damaged, receiving regeneration. Interesting. Attacks drowned guardians, elder guardians and other fish. So they can be a defender, maybe they're just a grumpy little so-and-so that just attacks everything in their way. Glow Squid. Now this was the mob voted in between the Isolager, Glow Squid and the Moo Bloom. If you have been living under a rock for the past week or so, you would know that there has been a vote on which mob they want to add to Minecraft and whatever, and gotta say I'm a little underwhelmed. I wanted the Isolager because it looked interesting, maybe a new way to farm ice, maybe a slightly new challenge for the mountain biome or whatever they've spawned, but Glow Squid, another interesting addition. To be fair, I mean I would have preferred that to the Moo Bloom. Originates from Minecraft Earth, which is the app, kind of Pokemon Go style application. Glows in the same way that Magma Cube cause blazes in the eyes of Spider, Drown and Endermint do. So this means that they do glow, but they don't really illuminate anything around them. So you can see them, but not really see anything around them. Lives in underground lakes. Now, since this is a cave update, there's going to be a whole lot more better caves and associated biomes and such. And again, this is going to make it seem more like Terraria, because Terraria's got a lot more underground things as well, including jellyfish and such. So this might be, I'm not saying it's a rip-off per se, but very similar kind of mob. Goat. Spawns in mountain biomes, can jump very high into the air to avoid obstacles, attacks close animals and knocks them very far away. There is a baby variant, therefore presumably a way to breed them. The video of this, I'll show it now.
Goats. They're both mischievous and adorable at the same time. As you can see, they live on the mountains, and if you aren't careful, they might knock you off. They also have excellent jumping skills.
Made me laugh quite a lot because they just absolutely booted a cow out of the way, so clearly they're kind of territorial slash just generally grumpy. Obviously, in real life, goats live in mountainous areas, wild goats live in mountainous areas. Can jump very high into the air. You've probably seen the videos of goats doing jumps and such. They are very, very agile. Attacks close animals, so yeah, presumably grumpy. Hostile, maybe neutral, unless you get too close, perhaps attack one of them or their children. Moving on to the Warden. This was another thing that I think may split the community, as it is a very unusual addition, I'll say that. It spawns in the deep dark biome along with the skunk things and whatever else, and it's completely blind. However, it can hear very well and uses the previously mentioned vibration. It seems to follow the same rules as Skunk's sensor when detecting noise. It does not detect players that are sneaking. However, in the video, they threw some snowballs. I mean, I presume you could probably use anything else. Perhaps, you know, ender pearls, arrows, all kinds of arrows, whatever else could be thrown, a splash potion perhaps. Incredibly strong, 65 damage per hit, at least as fast as the player's walking speed, which means you could probably outrun them. Seems to move faster when attacked. Maybe it has some kind of anger thing like in a lot of like dungeon crawlers or whatever, when you attack a boss down to a certain amount of hearts, it starts running around a lot faster. Might be an addition. Seems to have some knockback resistance. Maybe it's made out of netherite or a similar thing. That would explain why it's so tough and so durable and has the knockback resistance. Likely spawned in relation to the hut seen in clip now called the Warden's Dungeon. Now, world generation. Let's have a look at the new underground structures and biomes. Lush caves, mentioned them. Pretty cool. They seem to be maybe similar to like in a jungle biome. There's just so much within it. Mountains contains powdered snow and goats. Powdered snow of which you can walk over, but you sink into unless you're wearing leather boots. Deep dark, mentioned that. Cool new deep cave. Dripstone caves contain stalagmites and stalagmites, not really anything else to do with them. Cave generation, revamped to generate bigger, more adventurous caves. Seems to increase max world height and sea level. Now, I wanted to mention this because I don't think they covered it in the live stream, from what I can remember anyway, but I think they're going to increase the max height for the world. So it's currently 256, might go up a lot higher, maybe up to 500, 600, I don't know. But that would be really the only reason why you'd have these massive caves, because otherwise, you know, they'd just be massive caves and then just a thin crust of kind of dirt on top, and that's the overworld. But currently, the overworld, I believe sea level's about Y60. However, at Y60, that's not much space to have these massive caves as seen in the videos. So perhaps they are increasing the general world height, including the max world and the average sea level and whatever. Amethyst Geo mentioned these. Bell-like sounds can be heard here. Whether it's a block that emits these or if it's biome related is currently unknown, like a kind of ambience, who knows at the moment. I mean, Mojang probably do, I don't know why I said that. Archaeological excavation with the new structures, could be used with brushes. The Warden's dungeon can be found in the deep dark biome. Barrels, a double chest and a blast furnace are included. Now that obviously adds a whole bunch of things maybe to like the lore, the background of the game. Maybe Wardens are relatively intelligent. I mean, obviously, you know, not many of the Minecraft mobs are intelligent. Obviously you can trade with villagers, barter with piglins, endermen can pick up blocks and such, but perhaps this adds some kind of background knowledge to the Warden. A Warden in real life may be somebody who protects a certain area, but perhaps they are the underground versions of the Iron Golems. Local water levels. So a kind of water table, as it were, for underground. A new generation aspect has been introduced, which allows for certain areas of the world to generate with a different water level than other areas. Mineral veins will be revamped, at least for copper. I mentioned this just now. They are apparently going to be changing up the way that ore veins work. So perhaps there could be a new strategy instead of just strip mining, which, you know, we've known for years upon end as a good strategy. Perhaps there's a different strategy you can do for mine in 1.17. Gameplay, archaeology, mention that. Is it too much? I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. Is it too much like added to the game? And dark flashing. While in the deep dark biome, the screen occasionally darkens, limiting the player's visibility. This may be the unknown candle-like blocks, perhaps a dark lightning, light darkening. Who knows? Maybe it's a biome-specific thing. Whatever. Now, I'm sorry. I know this has been a very long video. I just wanted to cover that kind of stuff, give you guys my thoughts. I want to know what you think. Leave a comment down below in the comments section. Tell me your opinions. Tell me what you liked about this potential, you know, all the potential things for this new update. Tell me what things you might not like, and I might do another video having a look at your guys' comments and come to another conclusion about what I think about this. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry this has been such a long video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.